You say blessing for us?
To do the gift for food, amen.
Amen.
Okay, let's do this thing.
Let's do this thing. Hey, welcome back to another video. Really appreciate you clicking on another one unless it's your first time here, in which case I invite you to subscribe. It'd be awesome to have you here for the content, for the community, for the conversation. Comment and like as much as possible. I love answering your guys' comments. I love reading them, especially. I try to read all the comments, although I don't get to respond to them all like I used to. I just have too many videos out now to do that, but I'm doing my best. I'm trying to improve on that a little bit. The last video you saw, we went out of town to get supplies for the bathroom renovation project. Now, that was a really successful trip. I got a whole bunch of stuff. Some of it I've been working on installing. We've still got a little ways to go. We are now back on COVID lockdown. Now, just me saying the word COVID probably means this video is going to get demonetized and probably shadow banned because YouTube does not want people talking about it, especially channels in the conservative realm. But you know how that goes. You know that whole rhetoric. So I won't talk on that. But we are back in lockdown, which here in my little community, here in rural Newfoundland, really doesn't make much difference. So you guys in the bigger centers, I feel really bad for you because, well, it's got to be a tough living. It's got to be a tough setting to be. And there's a snowmobile going up the road in front of the house. It's got to be a tough setting to be pinned in like that. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, everything closed down. Basically, your best bet is to get up and walk up and down the street. You see there in the entrance of the video, the snowmobile clip. My family and I were just came back just now from a little putter in the trails just to get out and get some fresh air. And now I'm back to the bathroom work again. So we have the vanity here. We have a new toilet. A bunch of work has been happening. Let me show you guys. Let's move to the furnace room here. Listen, that beautiful oil furnace cooking away there. You know, that's a really big improvement this year. I'm finding the oil, although being a little bit more expensive, on days like this where you're just really busy doing a lot of stuff, I don't want to be tending to a wood fire. So that oil is really nice. I do have the benefit down here of having open ceilings. So the bathroom is actually right above here. And that was the old drain for the vanity right here. But you can see the new PEX pipe that I'm installing. New lines from the hot water tank over there. New valves tied into the house's older existing plumbing up there. I put two cutoffs up here that will shut off all the bathroom plumbing. So toilet, tub, and vanity water, and I thought that was a good decision just so I could shut the house water off once. I installed those shark bite valves there, and then I don't need them anymore. I don't need to shut off the house water anymore, that is. I can just shut off these valves and work on the bathroom plumbing. Now, I already ran my PEX lines here, so as you can see right there, the lines are already ran up to the tub in the bathroom, and that was essential first because that is the only bathtub in the house. And with 2 little female toddlers, it's important to have a functioning bathtub. And back when this house was originally built, all of the plumbing was your copper, your soldered copper joints, all copper pipe. Of course, that was the standard close on 30 years ago. Some amount of the plumbing here has been updated with CPVC, so that is the white, the small 1/2-inch white line. And some joins with these shark bite fittings, which I have been really fond of up until now. They're these push connect, which is really interesting if you've seen them work. They just snap, piece of pipe just snaps into them, and that's it. They're sealed. What I am working on now from here going forward all color-coded PEX pipe, red and blue for cold and hot, and the steel crimp rings. And I have figured in my mind this is about the best possible solution. You have a flexible line, so if your house is moving or anything like that, which in Newfoundland tends to happen a little bit more than other places with the drastic temperature and humidity changes, your house is moving. Copper and CPVC can get brittle over time. This is a soft line, so it's going to have a little more flex. And in terms of retrofitting a house with plumbing, it's a better situation to have a flexible line. You can get around things, pre-existing things, a little easier. Also, you don't have a piece like this. These shark bite fittings have multiple parts inside, moving parts. And in the past day or so, while setting up the plumbing from the hot water tank to those valves to the tub, I have had a couple give out. I had one that isn't that old. I know that Dad installed there just a matter of a few years ago that started leaking, with just very little jostling, just spontaneously started leaking. I pulled that one out to replace it, and I saw that the parts were had come apart inside. Some of the sealed pieces inside, which led to a leaky connector. And another one there was a brand new connector I just bought, and these are like 10 or 12 bucks a piece, by the way, really expensive. Brand new one, just started leaking, and when I looked inside, the O-ring was chewed up. There's just a little rubber O-ring in there that creates your seal, and as we know, little O-rings like that tend to break down over time. That's why flashlight companies like Olight give you extra O-rings with their lights, because they know they dry up and they break down over time. What this does, so you have a flexible pipe, this very heavy steel ring goes on. You have these barbed brass fittings there that snugly, there we go, friction fit over the pipe. This slides up over the barbs, and then you use a special tool, special pair of crimpers, and this actually malforms this ring enough to squeeze. You can actually see the pipe indent. This pipe is very thick and durable, but as far as I can tell, theoretically it should be about the best possible plumbing connection there is. I think it would be very hard to spring a leak with a connection like that. Where I'm at in the project right now, I've resheeted the floor. I've got a rough coat of plaster done. Can't get any thin set or floor leveler here, so I'm working with plaster. That's what Dad has used in the past, and it has worked well for him. So that's what I'm using here, and I've still got to rough that in, rough sand it, maybe use a little more plaster. You notice we have the walls painted gray. We have a light fixture wired in and put up. That messes with the exposure. I rebuilt this unit here for the tub. New faucet, new plumbing for that, and it's just really nice. I think it's coming together nicely here. So the next thing to do here now is rough this floor in, then get down our vinyl flooring and start setting up for some of the plumbing for the vanity, the toilet, get all that in, then probably some moldings after that. If you want to build your hand skill set, buy an older home. I have learned so much since buying this home. I've done so many different types of tasks that I've never had the opportunity to do. You know, when working on a job like this, I figure there are two types of tools. That are the tools regarding your skill set, the abilities that you have, your toolbox in that regard, and then your actual physical tools. And I think both are equally as important. I really preach self-reliance on this channel, the ability to learn and execute tasks on your own. We talked about that in the last video, how important it is to just try these tasks on your own, not to hire in a contractor or a tradesman every time you need this work done, but to actually attempt it. And no, maybe you don't get 100% quality, the job that someone else would do, but if you can hit 90% or 80% and still have learned all of these tools for the next time you need to do something, it is so valuable. Also, as I mentioned, the other type of tool set, your actual tools, man, I have never regretted buying a tool. I buy every tool that I can afford. I usually try to buy the best tools that I can afford because they really do help you with projects like this. When I was just a kid in grade school, maybe grade 9 I believe, for Christmas, I asked for tools. I started building my tool set then, and I still have those tools I got that Christmas right now, 15 plus years later. Now, I recognize that I'm very fortunate in being able to buy the tools that I do, like this beautiful miter saw here, but I didn't start here. And you guys, you don't need to start with the biggest and the best tools. The cheap hardware store brands, they do a great job, and you can get a lot of work done for a long time with those. So buy the best tools that you can afford. Buy as many tools as you can afford and build your tool set. Don't forget that mental tool set as well, your hand skill set, your abilities. Get to work on both, invest in both, and you certainly won't be sorry. What a job. I went ahead and instead of just tying in that one drain there for the sink, I went and ran all new drainage back tied into the main pipe in there over my office. Quite a few trips to Robinson's General. I'm glad they had everything. In the future, if I go plumbing again, what I will do is go and just buy a small stockpile of every type of joins. So 10 or 15 elbows and 10 or 15 22.5 degrees and 15 or 20 like inline joiners, and just trip after trip to the store, and each time I would buy a few extra, and it still ended up needing more, so I won't be caught in that situation again. If you have made it to this point in the video, I really appreciate you watching, and I appreciate your support. If you could go ahead and hit that like button, leave me a comment down below, and subscribe. If it's your first time here, I would really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next video.